BGB sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go now. 19.
Already here, they'll audible to something else. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
Back to 50, back, ready! Hawk 70, Hawk 7.
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. But I believe the Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
They go with the empty set there. 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
Lions. Cup 19, Cup 19.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go, set. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Ready, ready.
There's a quick throw caught out wide. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A gain of 32 that time.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Cowboy 80.
Off the option, that's complete. Touchdown! A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Looking to put a drive together.
Ready? 19, Tiger, 19. Ready?
On the ground, here's the fourth-round pick from April's draft. Now he's loose at the 40, inside the 20. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 61 yards that time on the ground. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Hands it off out of the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Let's go. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Go.
Richardson looking to throw this. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Only able to gain a couple there. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Richardson to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Lions are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This defense for the Colts, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
60 Bobcats, 6 Dragons, 60. 18, Pioneers.
2nd and 2. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's bringing it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him. And I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drills, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Not liking the look. They'll change the play. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. And the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on this good position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler. Cup 19, Cup 19, Mustang 19.
Back to throw now on first down. Throw over the middle. He finds Williams. That'll give him 8 that time. And it'll be second and a couple.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Quick hitch complete. It's Gibbs. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
But it certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And this one is incomplete. Trying to find Jamison Williams. And that'll bring up second down. You look at this Colt defense. Against the pass, they've had some issues. Ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window. Because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a third down.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it. But don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
Seven Pirates. Dragon 60. 19 tight.
Out of the gun now on third down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Lions go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. The extra point splits the uprights. And it's now 14-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Still going. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 3.
Deputy, let go.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down.
Bronco switch. Bronco. Here we go. Here we go. Check. Ready.
Now they try the right side here. And some room to work. And he will finally be wrestled down at the Lions' 21-yard line. 116 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. They needed less than a foot, and they got a lot more feet than that. Quite a run there on third and short.
As a running back, you love when the defense is stacked near the line of scrimmage. You know it's going to be heavy slogging in the beginning, but if you break free, nothing but green grass ahead of you.
Smooth sailing and a big run because of it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
They'll try to run this one in. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Touchdown, Colts! A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts have got it back to within a score. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone. Oh, and now they're going to fake it.
Again, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film when those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Dragon 60. Cup 19. Cup 19.
Second and 3. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, they've had success getting the ball to him out of the backfield, but this time they had a man right on him. He was able to break that play up before he could get started.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now a hit and a loose football inside the 20. And this is touchdown, Detroit. Now the try here for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. Here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive line.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Lions are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
On the go.
Looking to put a drive together.
Warriors 70. 70. 18 cards. 18 Rattler. 18 trap 60. Trap 60. 19 Lions. 19 tight. 19 tight. Ready.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Brings up second and 2.
Ball on the 27. Here's second and a couple.
Here we go. Here we go. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles. 79 Broncos. Buffalo 18.
He'll drop to throw. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Hey, pass. Cougar 19. Mustang 19. 70 Ranger. 70 Ranger. Panther 11. Panther 11. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. Ready, ready?
Now back to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. That is Josh Hines Allen working his way in for the sack.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. And now they'll shift things around.
Three. Go.
First run of the game for Jahmyr Gibbs, the Alabama product. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Ready? Here we go. Set. 60 Bison. 60 Bison. 60 Eagles. 60.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start on the ground here on first down.
Oh, cut up again.
Nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 135 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues.
Ready.
Second down and 4.
Trap 50. Trap. Come on. Hit.
Now Richardson. a throw right sideline is complete.
Travis Smith, bro.
Inside the 20. Touchdown.
Really the best receiver in the league. And he's the best receiver in the league, but he's not even the best pass catcher on the team. That's the crazy thing.
The Colts are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Look at number 11, the one I was cooking your shit.
And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here.
The fuck?
Richardson will throw for it. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he will get into the end zone. So that shaves 2 more off the deficit as they now trail by 5. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Let's go. Viking 18. 70 field goal.
Oh, man.
They're going to look to throw. Finds Gibbs on the check down. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A quick throw complete into the flat out left. He's out of bounds inside the 35. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Brings that second and 5.
Warriors 70. Check, 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 check. Panther 11, Panther 11. 60 Maverick, 19 Lions. Go.
Second and 5.
Oh, you thought, huh? Oh, yeah. Come on. Turn around. Pick it off.
As he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
Ready. Bronco 80. 79 Broncos. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler.
You don't believe in it? Shit. It was like,
Trap
oh,
60,
shit.
trap 60. 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat.
Back to throw.
Back over the view here.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. As the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now they'll audible to something else. To the left side.
Hey, look at that, another RPO.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Now we're signaling a timeout call as he comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
He stinks.
Set up. 70 Timberwolves.
A final shot before the half. Richardson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. Oh, some strong running. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Now they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because
look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His third touchdown of the game. And the Colts come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. To try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game.
You can't beat me. I'm a rock star. You point niggas out like that, y'all.
Now as they send this one away. And this one over the back line of the end zone, where they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to.
I wish you would do. I wish you would do it over there. Do your RPO. Throw it.
On your team, you got to be careful right here.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Here we go. Mustang Knights, Viking, 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger, 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Go.
Back to throw here.
Hey, y'all let him this game?
Before being stopped just before the 35. Give him 32 on the play.
2, 3 knockouts.
There's the arm
there.
strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Warriors 70. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler. Cup 19. Cup 19.
He'll look to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
No. Don't slide. Please don't slide.
Shy of the first down marker. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Panther 11, Panther 11, 19 Lions. Trap 60, trap 60.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Check mash, 70 Lions. Pioneer, 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. 7 Pirates, Buffalo 18.
They'll look to throw here. He'll try and do this himself. And that'll be incomplete with a penalty flag here on the field. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that thing go.
Illegal for a pass.
Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown this third quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Now you deserve it, Rick.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
19 tight.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last time that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
46-yard line.
Ready,
A
check.
big hitter
Oh,
to
you
start
feel
the
as a player,
drive
you
has
just
him up
trade you
near
for some money.
midfield here for 1st and 10.
Ready. Ready.
Richardson to throw off play action. He's going to walk one deep left side here.
Oh, come on!
Almost had his
Thought I floated that out a little bit better than that.
Probably should have. Yeah, he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
Boy, that ball's just hanging up there waiting to be intercepted. That looked doomed from the start. But they took the deep shot anyway, and fortunately, it winds up incomplete.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated.
That's
Both
not bad.
levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Let's go.
Richardson out of the shotgun. Open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here is away.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on the lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most most teams, run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
Let's go. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 19 Charger, 19 Charger. 70 Lions.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. And
That's
he's got his
bullshit,
man in
man.
stride, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Rattler, 18 Rattler.
Second and 11. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I would describe the way that he's played today as mature. He's already moved on mentally from that incompletion, and he's more than ready to throw his next pass downfield.
19 Charger, 19 Charger. Check, hurt. Right there, hurt. 7 Pirates. Trap 50.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Colts will go on offense here, first and 10.
Got kicked.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Some other nigga is fucking number.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. Richardson going on fourth down.
Come off the edge like this.
With a football, it's a sack and a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The keeper gets him 7 that time, and it'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, and now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Bronco leading. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick.
Yeah, BGB a couple hours.
They'll look to throw. Man, and he hits him in stride. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick here is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
You say you won easily. I won't score.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
How many hands I gotta take to level my aesthetics? Hurry up and get your muscle up. We got the plyometric. Ran about the Lux Messer up the highest metric. The city just made a sweep with the diabetic.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Here's Richardson to throw. Down the field, he's got one. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try to get the ball back again.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Oh my gosh, there he goes again. Bro, trying to throw the ball away. He wants to juke.
He couldn't escape the pressure, and they go backwards in a big way there on the sack.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And that is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Let's go now. 70 Lions. 19 Lions. Buffalo 18. 70 Rangers. 70 Rangers.
4th down, desperation time. Here's Richardson. is intercepted again. It's Richardson's third of the game.
Keep on fucking just getting hit.
And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
My line will be doing this shit.
Gibbs straight ahead. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
A gain of 14. First down, Lions.
Cougar 19. Check, Bobcat. Check, Bobcat.
Another run for Gibbs here. Tackled by the cornerback, Derek Stingley. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have to lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
From the 21, here's a second down and 9.
Deputy! Viking 18! Ready!
Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Oh, this one, and they need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. But defensively, they have that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Let's go! Cowboy 80! Hey, Smash! Let's go!
On third down, here's Gibbs. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Right back to him on 1st down. And good vision there, just across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 176 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. One back to the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's got it to about the 40.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Richardson looking to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
Nope.
Here's 1st and 10.
Cup 19. Cup ready. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Ready?
Now Richardson. Now he's going to step up and run. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And while it's probably going to take a miracle at this stage, if they come down with this one in the end zone, they've still got a fighting chance. That one, however, winds up incomplete.
They'll come up now on second down. One back in the back.
Turn around! What are you doing? This game, boy. Only nigga for on the block, nigga want to run back to me.
He's running angry, running through
What you doing? You could have blocked him. I could have cut up. Man, look.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. He will push his way down to about the 14.
At the 14-yard line.
Go.
Richardson to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Colts are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Now Richardson going to shift things up. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he takes this one into the end zone. All of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
They can't blame me for that.
So the clock shows 55 seconds to play as they line up for a critical onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Where are you going, bro?
19 Tigers.
Here's a quick throw caught out wide.
They picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Second and 5.
Bronco 80.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now 2nd and 5.
Panther Street, Panther Street, Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Trying the left side with Gibbs. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Ready? 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
Try to take this home. They'll run.
If y'all push him to that first down.
He's a yard short. A pickup of 3 and leaves him with 4th and 1. Now the Colts will use
You know how he got all that fucking yards in the first place.
as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we got
if I would have win,
so we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck too. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. This is 1st and 10.
Come on. 68, 18, Pioneer.
Richardson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And you drop it. Come on, Jerry.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Here's 2nd down.
60. Here we go. Strike. Cougar 19. Go.
Here's Richardson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Throwing now is Richardson. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
So funny. The line was just leaving him with fire. Don't touch him.
Here we go. 70 Timberwolves.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So for Detroit,